Hello there, gamers. Yes, I know this video is extremely late, and you may be wondering where part 1 is. There is no part 1. I just can't bring myself to do it now. Covering gaming news has to be one of the most depressing and blackpilling experiences I've ever had, and I'm not exaggerating. I just kinda don't want to do it anymore. Doesn't mean I won't do it again, but, you know. More on this in the outro. Let's get on to the main topic. In case I end up not doing a double feature for next month, here's what you need to know. Everything is getting worse. Nintendo sucks, Sony sucks, Microsoft especially sucks. This is the worst console generation since the 1983 crash, and I don't think that's a hot take at all. We have to resort to petitioning the EU government to get some semblance of consumer rights back, and the blame is entirely on gamers. We let this happen. We cheered it on even. We bought the digital games for the sake of a mild convenience. We paid for egregiously priced DLC. We engaged with the live service games instead of rejecting them outright. We made Nintendo's most anti-consumer console ever the best-selling console launch of all time. And now, here we are, staring down the barrel of actual ownership of the things we buy ending while prices continuously increase. And what do we get out of it in return? Nothing. Mediocre games, constant rehashes, designed by committee slop, incomplete games chopped into little bits so they can charge you extra for them, and companies that can take away your games and brick your devices at their whim. Making games is easier than it has ever been. At least, it should be. But they still want to inflate everything with ridiculous standards that don't matter. Also, censorship keeps getting worse thanks to activist Karens who defend actual pedophiles and payment processors who still support things that are so much worse than questionable video games again. Gamers truly are the most oppressed class. And yet, it can also be said that the best time to be a gamer is and always has been right now, the present. This part of RNG is arguably proof of that, and for that reason I think it's much more important. I have another list of many games that came out within the last month that aren't AAA scams or corporate slop. Well, some of them might be and I just don't know it. But hey, they have potential. So please, stop supporting the mainstream industry. Stop giving the big companies money, or cut back as much as you can. Get some indie and AA games instead. Let these massive abusive corporations wither and die like they deserve. Yeah, I know I'm asking for the impossible of the most impulsive, fanboyish consumer base in the history of mankind. Maybe. But don't say I'm not doing my part. I showed off over 50 games last month, which is a lot, so let's get into it, right after we go over the showcases that happened last month too, most of which we reacted to live. The Best Indie Games Indie Showcase on June 3rd. Mixed Summer Games Showcase on June 4th. Shacknews E4 Indie Showcase on June 4th. PlayStation State of Play on June 4th. Accessibility Summer Showcase on June 6th. Summer Game Fest on June 6th. Day of the Devs Summer Game Fest Edition on June 6th. We got a bunch of stuff on June 7th, the Wholesome Direct, Women-Led Game Summer Showcase, Latin American Games Showcase, Southeast Asian Games Showcase, Future Games Show, Green Games Showcase, and Frosty Games Fest. On June 8th we had N3 Summer Showcase, Xbox Games Showcase, PC Gaming Show, and RPG Direct. Black Voices in Gaming Summer Showcase on June 9th. Konami Press Start on June 12th. Games to get excited about Fest on June 15th. Capcom Spotlight on June 26th. And last, Arc System Works Showcase on June 27th. There you go, that wraps up all the showcases, aside from the ones that just showcase one game we've already heard of before. Feel free to check out any of them after this video if you want a sneak peek at some upcoming games. In the meantime, let's go over a bunch of different games that you can get right now. For some reason, the first game I have on here is from April and I don't remember why, but screw it. Portal Fantasy on April 25th. Papucom on June 1st. Bathhouse Creatures on June 2nd. Cyber Knights came out of early access on June 2nd. GT Manager came out of early access on June 2nd. Hate.net on June 2nd. Go sip on some haterade. Void War on June 2nd. Galactic Glitch came out of early access on June 3rd. Rise of Industry 2 on June 3rd. Jufu Raden's Guide for Pixel Museum on June 4th. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma on June 4th. I might play this one, but I don't know. Rune Factory 5 was bad. Dragon is Dead came out of early access on June 6th. Seasonala Cemetery on June 7th. This game is free. Berserk or Die on June 8th. Dune Awakening on June 10th. Mind's Eye on June 10th. Okay, I really only included this because look at this shit. If you want an unintentionally hilarious glitch fest, you might find some enjoyment from this game. The Stellar Blade PC port came out on June 11th, but it has de novo. Wizard of Legend 2 came out of early access on June 12th. The Altars on June 13th. Action Game Maker on June 16th. Cast and Chill on June 16th. Peak on June 16th. Rooftops and Alleys, the parkour game, came out of early access on June 16th. Battle Train on June 17th. Blood Sins on June 17th. Dragon Loop on June 17th. Lost in Random: The Eternal Die on June 17th. Scum came out of early access on June 17th. Soulstone Survivors came out of early access on June 17th. Tron Catalyst on June 17th. Blessed Burden on June 18th. Gilgul on June 18th. Raidou Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army on June 18th, but it has de novo. Architect Life: A House Design Simulator on June 19th. Belle Fortis came out of early access on June 19th. Broken Arrow on June 19th. Chronicles of the Wolf on June 19th. Metro Gravity on June 19th. Rematch on June 19th. Robots at Midnight on June 19th. Star Overdrive on June 19th. Vessels of Decay on June 19th. Yowling Mythical Journey on, you guessed it, June 19th. Bygone Dreams on June 20th. The Legend of Dark Witch Episode 4 on June 20th. Not Monday Cafe on June 22nd. Gales of Naeli on June 23rd. Outrider Mako on June 23rd. Ship Incorporated on June 23rd. How to Escape Lost Submarine on June 24th. Shuffle Tactics on June 24th. Exocalibur on June 25th. Heroes of Mount Dragon on June 25th. Ruffy and the Riverside on June 26th. System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster on June 26th. Antro on June 27th. Bombus on June 27th. And last, Oceanhorn Chronos Dungeon on June 27th. And there you have it, 58 different games you can get right now, most of which aren't feeding the machine, I hope. If you find anything you like in this video, feel free to let me know in the comments if I helped you decide to pick anything up, and maybe let the devs know who sent you. If you want a one-stop place to keep track of all games featured on this release list, you can always follow my Steam Curator, which is linked in the description. Now, to expand upon what I was talking about in the intro, I'm sorry for the lack of content over the past few months. Some of you guys have been subscribed to memberships or gifted them, and I'm totally fine if you decide to cancel. I don't think I can even make that $1 a month worth it right now, especially since what I said on stream, that I was thinking of going on quasi-hiatus from the internet for a while to basically get my real life back in order because, well, I don't want to go into detail, but I kinda need to. And I think the internet has been the main cause of a lot of issues I've been having. Obviously, it's not just the constant flow of terrible gaming news that's causing this, that's only a small part of it. I also have been held back severely by my outdated PC hardware, which I can't afford to upgrade right now. So I can't even edit the kind of videos I want to make without it taking exponentially longer than it realistically should in 2025. I've been putting this off for way too long, as I have a habit of doing. I'm not going away for good, obviously, but when I fully come back, I have some plans that I'd like to do with the channel. Some changes. A bit of an overhaul even, so stick around. I think you guys will like it. But I can't do it with my current situation, so yeah, it'll be a while. Smash streams will still be every other Monday unless my schedule changes, which I will give a heads up for, so don't worry about that. In the meantime, you can still hop in the Discord if you want, and you can always follow me on the X-Twitter, Rumble, or Odyssey. And as always with this desiccated husk of an industry, have high standards, low expectations. Oh yeah. The worst take of the month goes to JTech TV crying and melting down on stream just because Lost Soul Aside is coming to PC as well as PS5.
This game is literally being marketed for PC underneath your nose 2 months ago. This video is from 1 year ago. It's literally being marketed as a fucking showpiece for PC. You guys are fucking falling for the biggest fucking bait and switch ever. You wanna know why it's taking so long? Because they wanna make sure the PC version as good as possible. And then also launch it day and date. We are going to get the shit into the stick.
I don't know if it's actually the worst take or not, but it was definitely the funniest. So it was the one I actually remembered the most. So there. End this depressing video on a more funny note. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
PlayStation is the greatest game company in the fucking world. They are already a walking W.